Lesson 1. How a computer works. A computer is an electronic machine that takes input from the user, processes it and gives output. Thus, it works in 3 simple steps: input, process and output. This is known as input process output IPO cycle. Let us understand the IPO cycle by taking an example of human body. The human body works in 3 steps: input, processing and output. Step 1. Our sense organs accept input from the outside world and send signals to the brain. Step 2. The brain then processes those signals and sends messages or orders to other body parts. Step 3. The other body parts such as hands, legs, etc. respond according to the orders received from the brain. Boy watches the ice cream cart with his eyes. Input. Brain processes the input signals. Output. Boy happily eats the ice cream. Similarly, a computer follows 3 main steps: input, processing, output. Each of these steps are performed by different devices of a computer. Input devices are used to enter data and commands into the computer. Processing device is used to process the data and commands. Output devices are used to display the result obtained after input and processing. We will learn about the input, output and processing devices in detail in this chapter. Input devices. The devices which are used to enter data and instructions input into the computer are known as input devices. Keyboard and mouse are the commonly used input devices. These 2 devices are generally attached to every computer. Other input devices include microphone, touchpad, touchscreen, light pen, scanner, digital camera, and web camera. Keyboard. A keyboard is an input device that is used to enter data and instructions into the computer. The standard keyboard has 104 keys. There are different types of keys on the keyboard. These are alphabet keys, marked with letters A to Z. Number keys, marked with digits 0 to 9. Function keys, marked with F1 to F12. Special keys, used for some specific functions such as caps lock, shift, CTRL. Delete and backspace key, used for deleting unwanted text. Navigation keys, used for moving the cursor in different direction on the screen. These include arrow keys, home, end, page up and page down. Symbol keys, marked with some special characters such as etc. Mouse. A mouse is an input device that is connected to the CPU box using a cable. It has 2 buttons, left button and right button, with a scroll wheel in the center of the 2 buttons. It is also known as pointing device because it is used to point at objects on the screen. We can also play games and draw pictures with the help of a mouse. When we move a mouse on the table, a small arrow on the screen also moves in the same direction. This is known as the mouse pointer. These days, people also use a mouse without a wire. It is called a cordless or wireless mouse. It is easier to use as it can be used from a distance. Joystick. A joystick is an input device that is generally used to play video games. It consists of a stick with 1 or more push buttons. The stick moves in all directions, which help in moving items on the screen. Like a computer mouse, it is also known as pointing device. Scanner. A scanner is an input device that can read pictures and text on a paper and translate it into computer's language by converting it into electronic form that can be stored in a computer. The different types of scanners are flatbed scanner, sheet bed scanner, drum scanner, and handheld scanner. Microphone. A microphone, also known as mic, is an input device used to record your voice and any other sound into the computer. It also helps you to talk to your friends over the internet. Touchscreen. A touchscreen is a computer screen which is sensitive to the touch. You can point, select and move items on the screen by touching them with your finger. You can see touch screens in smartphones, tablets, ATMs and laptops. Light pen. A light pen is an input device that looks like a pen. It is used to point and select objects by directly touching them on the screen. You can also write or draw anything directly on the screen with the help of the light pen. Touchpad. A touchpad, also called a trackpad, is generally present on the laptop. It has a special surface on which you move your finger to move the mouse pointer on the screen. It is used instead of a computer mouse. It performs all the functions of a mouse such as click, right-click, double-click and drag and drop. Digital camera. A digital camera captures photographs and records videos and stores them in the digital memory called the memory card, present inside the camera. Unlike film cameras, digital cameras can display images immediately on its screen immediately. You can store and delete images from the memory as and when required. You can also transfer them from the memory card to the computer. Web camera. A web camera is used to capture live images and videos. It is mainly used to send pictures and videos over the internet. With the help of a web camera, you can see and talk with your friends or relatives over the internet. In desktop computers, the web camera can be fitted on the top of the monitor, while in laptops, tablets and mobile phones, the web camera comes fitted inside the system. Output devices. The devices which are used to display the data that we enter into the computer and get the results output from the computer are called output devices. Monitor, speakers and printers are the most commonly used output devices. Monitor. A monitor, also the computer screen, is an output device that displays everything we do on the computer. It looks like a TV screen. It is also known as visual display unit, as it shows the output and the movement of the mouse pointer on the screen. The output displayed on the monitor is called the soft copy. There are three types of monitors. CRT, cathode ray tube monitors. They are bigger and bulkier and consume more power. LCD, liquid crystal display monitors. They are lighter, thinner and consume less power. LED, light emitting diode monitors. They provide the rich picture quality as compared to the other two types of monitors. Note: among all types of monitors, the LED monitors use least amount of power and thus commonly used these days. The CRT monitors are rarely used. Printer. A printer is an output device that is used to take the printout of your work on a sheet of paper. The printed copy of the output is called the hard copy. You can print your drawings and documents. There are different types of printers, namely dot matrix printer, inkjet printer and laser printer. Dot matrix printer, inkjet printer, laser printer. A dot matrix printer has pins and an ink ribbon. The pins strike on the ink ribbon to produce characters on the paper. An inkjet printer sprays tiny dots on the paper to produce text and images on the paper. A laser printer uses a laser beam and dry ink to print text and images on a paper. These printers produce too much noise and also produce low quality output. Moreover, they can only print in black and white. These printers are faster than the dot matrix printers. It prints very fast and produces the highest quality output. However, they are cheap as compared to other printers. They do not make noise and can produce colored printout also. It is expensive as compared to the other printers. Speakers and headphones. Speakers and headphones are also output devices. These are used to listen to music or any other sound from a computer. They can be wired or wireless. Headphones are used by an individual to listen to music or sound from the computer without disturbing others around you. Central Processing Unit (CPU). The CPU is the processing device of a computer. It is responsible for all the calculations, storage and processing. It controls all the input, output and other processes. That is why it is known as the brain of the computer. A CPU is made up of three main parts or units. These are Arithmetic Logic Unit (ALU), which is responsible for all the arithmetic calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Control Unit (CU), which controls and manages the working of all the parts of the computer. Memory Unit (MU), which stores data and instructions that are to be processed and passed on to the ALU and CU. Note: the computer memory and storage devices are discussed in detail in the next chapter. Computer hardware and software. The parts of computer that you can touch or feel are called its hardware. It includes all the physical parts of the computer. For example, monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. The devices which are attached externally to the CPU box through wires are called peripheral devices. On the other hand, some parts of a computer are present inside the CPU box like motherboard, hard disk, CPU chip, CPU fan, memory, etc. Note: the parts attached to the computer, either externally or internally, together form its hardware. A computer cannot work on its own. It needs instructions to work. Software is a set of programs or instructions that tells the computer how to operate. It therefore controls the working of a computer. For example, Windows, Paint, Microsoft Word, etc. For the efficient working of a computer, we need both hardware and software. Quick recap. A computer is an electronic machine which works on the input given by the user and produces output. A computer system works in three simple steps: input, process and output. This is called an IPO cycle. The devices which are used to enter data and instructions input into the computer are known as input devices. Keyboard, mouse, microphone, touchpad, touchscreen, light pen, scanner, digital camera and web camera are examples of input devices. The devices which are used to display the data that we enter into the computer and get the results, output from the computer, are called output devices. Monitor, speakers and printers are the most commonly used output devices. The CPU is the processing device of a computer. It is responsible for all the calculations, storage and processing. A CPU is made up of three main parts, namely ALU, CU and MU. The parts of computer that you can touch or feel are called its hardware. Software is a set of programs or instructions that tells the computer how to operate.